Hello everyone, I am Ujjwal Singh, a defense aspirant. I have appeared in CDS twice and AFCAT thrice and cleared every single time. I welcome you all to the YouTube channel Aspirants Beyond the Rank, where we will decode the Hindu editorial daily, smart, crisp, and exam focused. So without wasting time, let's start. So today's editorial page is written by Hardeep S. Puri, who is a Union Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas in the Government of India. So let's see what we have here. So before starting, let me make it very clear. So I'm going to read the newspaper line by line. Will give you the meaning, which is hard and which is important for the exam perspective, and I will explain every paragraph that we will read. Okay. So without wasting time, let's start. Strategy fueled by vision, powered by energy. So let's see what it says. A few days ago, India overtook Japan to become the world's fourth largest economy. So we have seen in news that a few days back, India became the fourth largest economy. Since 2014, under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership, India's GDP has more than doubled to 4.3 trillion in 2025. So we know when Prime Minister Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister of India in 2014, the GDP was around $2 trillion. And now it is around $4.4 trillion. Okay. So it has around doubled in last 10 years. That is around 100% of growth. This is the result of a decade-long strategy centered on reforms, resilience, relentless pursuit of self-reliance. Okay, so here we'll search for some meanings like resilience, relentless pursuit of self-reliance. So we have seen in the last 10 years as the GDP has doubled. So how our country is growing with so much pace. It was all a decade-long strategy that was centered on reforms. We have seen in the last 10 years there were a lot of reforms going on in the country. The government was resilient. Resilient basically means when you can recover fastly from any problem. The relentless pursuit of self-reliance. We nowadays hear a lot about the Atmanirbhar Bharat. So it is all the strategy and the reforms that were made by the government. India has not only become the world's fastest growing major economy, but is also a strategic force. The, we have seen that India is not just like a fastest growing economy, but it's also a strategic force. We have seen as every country in the world today listens to India, what India is seeing. So we are becoming a strategic force. The energy sector, integral to this rise, has undergone a structural transformation during the first year of Modi 3.0. We have seen that this is the third term of Modi government, and from the first term itself, from the first year of Modi government itself, a lot of structural transformation is going on, building on 10 years of foundational change that is based basically on the last 10 years of that foundation that was set up. More importantly, India's growth rate of 6.7% in the last quarter places it on fast trajectory that none of other countries can remotely hope to achieve in the coming years. So we have seen that then the last quarter of when the GDP, the growth rate was around 6.7%. So that was really impressive. But before the fourth quarter, in the third and second, we have seen that the growth was not so good. But still, it is currently in the fourth quarter. It is 6.7%. That is really good for a country like India. But we need to work toward it so that we can grow faster. As we know that China has developed around 10% of GDP for some years. So if we want to really want to develop ourselves, we need to do that. Okay. Outlining an energy strategy. India is now the third largest energy and oil consumer. If you want, if you can see here, it says that the third largest energy consumer. So we are the third largest energy and oil consumer, fourth largest refiner in the world. We are the fourth largest refiner and fourth largest LNG importer globally. So India is the third largest. We are just not the third largest economy, we are the third largest energy and oil consumer country. We are the fourth largest refiner country and fourth largest LNG importer globally. So the energy that the country is consuming is really amazing, as it reflects that we are going to be developed soon with this pace. With energy demand expected to grow 2.5 times by 2047, we are seeing that yearly basis the energy demand is growing. Every year the demand for the energy is growing. So by this pace, by 2047, the demand is expected to grow around 2.5 times. That is a big number. And 25% of incremental global demand said to come from India. And from all of the demand the whole of the world, 25% of the demand is going to come from India itself. So that's a big number. If you can see, the roadmap is clear. Energy security is development security. So we should focus on the energy security, as if we are secured on the basis of energy, we are secured on the basis of development. So for the development, energy is the most important part. The Modi government's energy strategy addresses the energy trilemma of availability, affordability, and sustainability through a four-pronged approach: diversification of sources and suppliers, expansion of domestic production, transition to renewables, and affordability. So here there are some points like the energy strategy. What is the government strategy? So it is basically based on three things. The first is availability, the second is affordability. Availability means how much energy is available with us. Like we are mostly in today's or from years, the energy is generated through coal. So how much coal do we have? If we are on nuclear power plant, how much energy is created on how much energy can we create on nuclear power plants? Affordability, is it affordable or not? If we are uh, making energy from the coal, from water, or from nuclear, is it affordable or not? It is not like that we are get earning 3 rupees and we are spending 5 rupees. So that is what affordability means basically. And sustainability through a four pronged approach. And is it sustainable or not? Can we go with this? Okay, it's not like we cannot afford a loss while doing all these things. So it goes through four pronged approach. The first is diversification of sources and supplier. So we should find the sources where that we can find the source from. Like there are countries, Iran or UAE or whatever, from whatever country we are bringing oil, okay, or we are importing oil. So okay, and with the suppliers, we need to focus on the suppliers who are supplying. Expansion of domestic production, how much we can expand our domestic production. Like we do have some oil, we do have oils, we have recently in Jammu Kashmir we have heard that some metal was found that is really useful. So we need to expand the production. Transition of renewables and affordability. Okay, so we should now focus on the renewable energies. Okay, as that is going to be that is the cleanest energy in the world available currently, and that is really helpful. So we should focus on the research and invest on the research in the upstream oil and gas sector in 2021 to 16% in 2025. Sorry, In the upstream oil and gas sector, India's exploration acreage has doubled from 8% in 2021 to 16% in 2025. So we have seen that from the oil and gas sector only, the exploration acreage. So with this, we had seen that as the India was exploring oil and gas in around 8% of the country in 2021, which has increased to 16%. That is a great number. That has also doubled for the oil and gas sector exploration, with a goal of covering 1 million square kilometer by 2030. So it says that by 2030, we are going to cover around 1 million square kilometers by 2030. The government aim, and the aim of the government is to unlock 42 billion tons of oil and oil equivalent gas. Okay, so the aim of the government is to unlock around 42 million tons of oil and oil equivalent gases. This expansion has been enabled by landmark reforms. So we have seen that how we will achieve this. So for this, a number of reforms has been brought by the government, such as reduction of no-go areas by 99%, streamlined licensing through open acreage licensing policy rounds, and attractive pricing incentives for new gas wells. So we have seen that there were no-go areas used to be there. So basically, no-go areas are those areas where you cannot search for the oil and gas, like exclusive economic zone. So that has reduced by 99%. Even the licensing has given through the open acreage licensing policies by the government, and the pricing incentives were given for new gas wells. The revised gas pricing mechanisms linking prices to 10% of Indian crude basket and offering a 20% premium for new wells. So if we look at the new pricing mechanisms of India, it says that the linking prices to 10% of India's crude basket and offers a 20% premium for new wells. So if you are establishing a new well, you will get a premium of 20%. That has enhanced gas availability for city gas networks and industrial users. So by this, we have seen that for the city gas networks, mostly the demand for the energy is in the city areas. So that so the gas availability has also increased, and for the gas city networks and the industrial users. To reduce costs and accelerate monetization, new revenue sharing contracts allow shared infrastructure amongst exploration and production players. Now, to reduce the cost and accelerate the monetization, what the government did is new revenue sharing contracts were allowed. Shared infrastructure. So you can share, like we know that suppose you are coming to Dehradun. Okay, so if you have on the railway station itself, you will get a shared taxi to go to the Mussoorie. So on that basis only, the government has allowed for the shared infrastructure among the exploration and production players, among the companies who are among exploration and production. Technological and geophysical efforts have complemented policy reforms. The National Seismic Program, Mission Anveshan, Airborne Gradiometry Surveys, and continental self-mapping have expanded data and exploration confidence, especially in frontier basins such as Andamans and the Mahanadi and the Kaveri. So we have seen that the efforts that was done on by the government and the reforms, like the National Seismic Program. If you want, you can go on Google and can search about all these programs. The National Seismic Program, that is Mission Anveshan, Airborne Gradiometry Surveys, and the Continental Self-Mapping, have expanded the data. So with using all this the data from all these missions, the exploration, and we have got the confidence, especially in frontier basins, as the Andamans, the Mahanadi, and the Kaveri. Okay, so in these places we got we had thought that we can get the oil. The Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited, we all have heard about ONGC, and Oil India have together made over 25 hydrocarbon discoveries across the Mumbai offshore, Cambay, Mahanadi, and Assam basins in the last 4 years. So it says that in the last 4 years itself, the ONGC and Oil India have made over 25, have made over 25 hydrocarbon discoveries. Around 25 hydrocarbon discoveries have been made in the last 4 years itself, with noteworthy places like the Mumbai offshore, Cambay, Mahanadi, and Assam basin. Noteworthy among these are the Suryamani and Vajramani wells on the well coast offshore of the Utkal and Konark fields on the east coast deep waters. So if somebody asks you, please remember these names, and the two wells like the Suryamani and the Vajramani wells. The Suryamani wells and Vajramani wells, where are these located? On the west coast offshore and the Utkal and Konark fields, okay, in the east coast of deep waters. Now just go on the Google and see what are deep waters on the ocean. Okay, moving ahead, these discoveries add over 75 million metric tons of oil and 2700 million metric standard cubic meters of gas to India's reserve. So by discovering these, we have added over 75 million metric tons of oil and 2700 million metric standard cubic meters of gas to India's reserve. That is a big number, if you will see. Collaborations with global majors are bearing fruit. So we have also collaborated with the world's major companies. That is fruitful for us. Like ONGC's partnership with BP is projected to boost output from Mumbai High by 44% for oil and 89% for gas. For example, if we see like ONGC have partnered with BP. BP is a company, is projected to boost output from Mumbai High. That output, if we see at Mumbai High output, it is around 44%. That is going to be the output that is going to be increased by 44% for oil, and the output for gas is going to be increased by 89%. A data center at the University of Houston now facilitates access to India's exploration data sets for international investors. A data center is also located at the University of Houston that is now facilitating access to India's exploration data sets. Okay, so there's a university that is facilitating the exploration data set for international investors. If any investor is going to invest in India for the exploration, so University of Houston is facilitating them the access. Downstream infrastructure has seen parallel expansion. If we talk about the downstream infrastructure, that has also seen parallel expansion. So that is also expanding parallelly. India now operates 24,000 kilometers of product pipelines. If we talk about the just pipelines, India is operating 24,000 kilometers of product pipelines and nearly 96,000 retail outlets. So India has 24,000 kilometers of pipelines, 96,000 retail outlets, and has significantly strengthened its strategic reserves and LPG storage. So in the last some years, from these numbers, we can see that India is growing very fast. India's city network has grown from 55 geographic areas in 2014 to 307 in 2025, with piped natural gas connections up from 25 lakh to 1.5 crore. So here are some numbers we should remember. Okay, here it says that city gas network, even the gas network in the cities, has grown from before in 2014, where it was around 55 geographic areas. It has increased to 307 in 2025. So that is a increase of around 6 times of increase. and the PNG, piped natural gas connections, was from 25 lakh to 1.5 crore. That is also of around six times, six time increase in the, yeah, in the PNG or in the city gas network, and was 7,500 compressed natural gas station in operation. And currently, if we see 7,500 compressed CNG stations are in operation throughout the cities. Unified pipeline tariffs and city gas expansion have ensured affordable access even in distant states, even those states which are far. We have seen that the pipeline tariffs, the tariffs that the government is applying to the companies, due to unified pipeline tariffs, the city gas expansion have ensured affordable access, even that those states which are far, they can also afford that prices. The next is the focus of the green strategy. Now, what is the green strategy? So biofuels have emerged as a cornerstone of India's green strategy. So we have seen that in the last some years, biofuels, we are talking about biofuels like ethanol, blending, we have all heard. So even in the petrol in 2015, if we see the data, in 2015, the ethanol blending was done at around 1.5%, which has increased to 19.7% in 2025. So the more ethanol we are blending, give me a second. Okay. So we have seen we are importing petrol from other countries, right? But if the in 1 liter petrol, if 20% we are mixing ethanol, so the cost we are decreasing. Okay, so the cost is going to be decreased as we can make ethanol in India itself. Okay, like in the different places, the ethanol factory was set up in previous some years, and we have seen that that is also giving benefits to the farmers. Okay, so India, so the ethanol blending is really helpful for the country, as we do not have much oil and gas in the country. Still, the exploration is going on, but comparing from the Arab countries, like they have a large amount of oil and gas. So ethanol blending is a good thing for the country. Blending quantities have expanded from 38 crore liters to 484 crore liters. So in the last 12 years, before where only 38 crore liters was blended, the number has increased to 484 crore liters. This has saved 1.26 lakh crore in foreign exchange. And by increasing the blending of ethanol in petrol and diesel, of we have saved around 1.26 lakh crore in foreign exchange. Okay, this much money we have saved. And we have also reduced the emissions by 643 lakh metric tons. Okay, even we are the pollution. Okay, so we have reduced the emissions by 643 lakh metric ton. So because biofuels are basically used nowadays, so that the pollution can be reduced. We have seen that. Okay, we'll take an example of IPL. Currently the IPL was going on. Have you seen the quality of the live streaming? It was so bad, even in the countries like England or Australia, when the match is played in. So it's not like that they are using good quality of camera. It is the AQI. Okay, the pollution level of those countries are less than the pollution level of India, and that is the difference. That when with at a place you are playing at a good environment, in a good environment, and you are playing in India. Okay, so by using these things, we are focusing to reduce the pollution. We cannot eliminate the pollution, but at a extinct uh, we can reduce the pollution. Okay, and we have also paid 1.7 lakh crore to distillers and over 1 lakh crore to farmers. In this process, the distillers, like those who are blending the ethanol, the government has paid around 1.8 lakh crore to distillers and 1 lakh crore to farmers. Even farmers are paid 1 lakh crore. Feedstock diversification ranging from molasses to maize has created a robust ethanol ecosystem. Basically, if you know how the ethanol is basically made, so it is basically from the molasses to maize. Okay, like in the villages, when the farmers cut their crops, they just take out the rice and or the important part, and the rest thing which they were using as a burning, which they used to burn, like in Haryana and Punjab we see that stubble burning is an issue for every year. So if they are selling those things to the factory where the ethanol plant is where the ethanol is being created, so it will benefit them, they will get some money, and will also help in reducing the pollution. Parallelly, the sustainable alternative towards affordable transportation initiative. So there is a initiative parallel to this, that is called the sustainable alternative towards affordable transportation, that has commissioned over 100 compressed biogas plants. Around 100 compressed biogas plants have been commissioned with aim for a 5% compressed biogas blending mandate by 2028. So there is a target of 5% CBG blending by 2028. Okay, so the points are 5% CBG by 2028. So remember this thing. Okay, so this is a target by the government. Central support for biomass procurement and CBG pipeline connectivity is accelerating circular energy adoption. Even the central government is supporting for biomass procurement and CBG pipeline connectivity, that is accelerating the circular energy adoption. Okay, that has fastened the circular energy adoption, to adopt the circular energy. Green hydrogen has given a massive thrust. We have all heard about the the green hydrogen train is going to run and all this. So that has given a massive thrust with 8.62 lakh tons of production and 3000 megawatt of electrolyzer tenders awarded. Okay, so 3000 megawatt of electrolyzer tenders have been awarded to different companies, and 8.62 lakh tons of production of green hydrogen has been done till date. Oil public sector undertaking are leading from the front. Indian Oil Corporation Limited recently awarded a landmark 10 kilotons per annum green hydrogen tender to Larsen and Toubro for its Panipat refinery. We have seen that recently the IOCL have awarded a landmark 10 kilotons per annum 10 kilotons per annum green hydrogen tender. So there is a tender by Larsen and Toubro for its Panipat refinery. Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited, and GAIL India Limited. So these all companies are similarly progressing with large-scale hydrogen projects. While the Numaligarh Refinery Limited green hydrogen unit in Assam is poised to become a first in the Northeast. So here is an important thing. The first green hydrogen unit in Assam is the Numaligarh Refinery unit. Okay. In Assam. Where is Numaligarh refinery? It is in northeast and in Assam. India's natural gas pipeline network now spans over 25,000 kilometers. If we talk about the data, so the gas pipeline is around 25,000 kilometers, and the target is around 33,000 kilometers by 2030. So in the next 5 years, we are going to increase the pipeline network by 8,000 kilometers. Strategic pricing reforms and inclusion of gas in the no-cut strategy for transport and domestic segments are ensuring supply stability. So how these all things are going to work is basically with the no category of for transport, no cut category for the transport and the domestic segments, and ensuring supply stability. Gas production has also increased steadily from 28 billion cubic meter in 2021. In 2021, we have seen that around 28 billion cubic meters of production was done, which has increased to 36 billion cubic meter. So with all this data, we can see that by day, every day, every passing year, there's a progress going on in every field. No other country has so drastically altered its system as India, as evinced by the oil fields regulation. Okay, so here's the meaning. Evinced, which basically means indicated. Okay, so as it is indicated by the Oil Fields Regulation and Development Amendment Act 2024. So recently a act was also passed, that is Oil Fields Regulation and Development Amendment Act. So it was indicated by it that which has enabled hybrid leases allowing renewable alongside hydrocarbon. Okay, so it has enabled hybrid leases allowing renewable alongside hydrocarbons. Discovered small fields now operate under simplified contracts with minimal compliance. Okay, burdens unlocking marginal fields across basins. These sweeping policy reforms so that we are ready to tweak and do more to make India's upstream sector as competitive as any in the world. So with all these policy reforms, we are ready to tweak and do more to make India's upstream sector as competitive in the world as it is more competitive. So we are going to make India also the same. Through PM Gati Shakti, we have seen that a PM Gati Shakti scheme, the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas has digitally mapped over 1 lakh assets and pipeline. So PM Gati Shakti was introduced and over 1 lakh assets and pipelines were mapped. Integration with the National Master Plan. It was also integrated with the National Master Plan that ensured the real-time project. Okay, so how the project is going, how much project is uh, uh, completed, and synergy across ministries, and it has established a synergy between the different ministries. The key projects under these are like Indo-Nepal pipeline or the Samruddhi utility corridor that have benefited from route optimization and cost saving of over 169 crore. Okay, so we have saved around 170 crore rupees. A consumer outlook. If we look through a consumers sitting at a consumer place, so affordability remains central. Okay, anybody who is buying something, the main thing is affordability. How much the consumer can afford. Despite global LPG price rising by 58%, we have seen that the LPG price have rose by around 58%. The Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, we have seen that the scheme of the central government, Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, with beneficiaries pay 553 rupees per cylinder. In India, a cylinder costs just 553 rupees under Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, supported by targeted subsidies and compensation to oil companies. That is supported by the targeted subsidies. The subsidies are provided and the compensation are provided to the oil companies. Fuel prices in India have been kept stable through excise cuts. We have seen that fuel prices have gone up, down, but it has been kept stable through the excise cuts, insulating citizens from volatility seen in neighboring countries. We have seen in the neighboring countries that bigger Pakistan or Nepal, whatever countries you see. In Nepal, still the prices are low currently, but we have seen there was time when the prices were really high, but in India it was kept stable. 11 years into the Prime Minister transformative leadership, India's energy sector is no longer defined by anxiety. The Narendra Modi government has completed around 11 years, but the India's energy sector is no longer defined by anxiety. Before, there were things that coming that we do not have this, we do not have that, but we are no longer defined by anxiety. It is now marked by confidence, self-reliance, and strategic foresight. Energy is not just a commodity, it is a catalyst for sovereignty, security, and sustainable development. So we should remember always that energy is not a commodity, it's a catalyst for sovereignty, security, and sustainable development. Okay, with this, we will finish this and let's go to the next